Welcome to a full day of eating, 1 week out from the show. Yes, we are 7 days out, and why not showcase you being prep on what a full day of eating looks like. Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit different today because we're on a refeed side, so we're going to have a little bit higher carbs. But for the past 2 weeks right now, we've been going more on low carb side. We've been having about 200 grams or less, and then come out, especially yesterday, off of 50 grams of carbs. So it's gonna be nice to have a good amount of carbs. And it's crazy to think it's like we're only 1 week out. We woke up this morning at 230.1. This is what we're looking at for physique wise. So we're crisp, we're tight, we're conditioned. So it's great to see everything coming together. And yeah, I mean, obviously, with the whole day of eating meals too, I'm gonna showcase you. You're gonna see a lot of meals are not gonna be your typical meals. And right here for breakfast is only 6 ounces of tilapia, 2 whole eggs, and only 5 grams of coconut oil. Yeah, it's not your typical meal. Even I don't eat half fish for breakfast. and so it's kind of interesting to see how how prep changes when you try and get yourself ready, or what you need to do to get yourself dialed in. And so with this meal alone, this meal is only 348 calories, 44 grams of protein, 19 grams of fat, and that's it right there. So I've been having pretty much no carbs for breakfast for 3 weeks now. And for the past approach, we've been taking pretty much low carbs, less than 200, Monday and Tuesday. And then we refeed a little bit on Wednesday, but then we go back to being low. And like I said, yesterday was the lowest, my lowest carbs, only at 50 grams. So we're testing something not new, but we're testing out having a little bit higher, more carbs, having 650 grams throughout the entire day. So we'll see how the body responds, and we'll kind of go from there. But what we've been noticing for the past 2 or 3 weeks with doing so is my body's been responding a lot well with I go low carbs for a day or two and refeed it, and then see how the next day or two goes. And then we've been noticing the body's just been absorbing the carbs, and metabolism be picking up, and we're getting a little bit more tighter as each week goes with the rotation. So it's kind of great to see, and I'm not too surprised with it, to be honest, because carbs respond very well with my body. My body really doesn't like to be on a low calorie or have 0 to none carbs. So I was not surprised with my body is responding well with when my coach gives me more carbs. My metabolism just picks up a lot faster. And so as the day goes on, again, the meals are not going to be as enjoyable as you would like to be, or again, they're not going to be meals that are going to be your typical meals. And so with that being said, and reason why we're not going to try to do cheat meal like burgers, sushi we've been doing before, is because we're not going to try to take the risk, because my stomach has been up and down. This entire prep, some days it's good, some days it's kind of low in the mixture. And so we're just going to go more on the cleaner side. We know rice doesn't bother me, oats, cream rice, they don't bother my system. So we'll just use those food qualities at just a higher quality, those qualities at higher quality. So that's what we're gonna do, just play it safe for right now until I get, it checked out to see what's really going on. But I mean, if you guys have been following me, I've been documenting on days leading up to the show. I know I kind of screwed up and everything like that. But with that being said, I have it all to the point where I showcase you where I'm gonna have 6,000 calories all the way down to 2,200 calories. And so today I'm having 4,000 calories, but like I said, I'll showcase you with that. But other than that, this whole prep, it's been great. I'm excited for it. Like I said, we're looking great. We're on the right track. Bodies respond well. So we'll just see how these meals respond throughout the day, and we'll get into it. But now I'm just gonna eat this meal. I'm gonna watch some One Piece. I'll catch you in for meal 2. All right, meal number 2, this is my pre-workout meal. Now I like to have this meal about 75 to 90 minutes before my workout. But first things we got 80 grams of oats. I gotta put this on grams. There we go. Put a little too much in there. Especially in prep, you can never go over too much because you gotta be precise when you go into it. Yeah, but I was just bulking. Wouldn't care if it was 5 grams more. Let's fill this up. Let's get the ozo soaking up. While that's going, then the other part is gonna be 4 ounces of ground turkey. Now, like I said, these meals are not your typical meals. Like, who decides to have ground turkey oatmeal as a meal? Me personally, I would never thought I would be doing this to myself. But again, when you're prepping for a show, doing anything you need to do, get yourself shredded, you need to get yourself ready. You just gotta do what you need to do. And I always say it's only temporary. It's never gonna last forever. Like, I'm only doing this for about 3 weeks now, so like I said, it's not the end of the world. It's not like I'm doing this for the rest of my life. Again, I probably got 1 more week of doing this, and that's pretty much it right there. So you just gotta suck up and really just deal with it, you know? That's it. And that's the thing doing about this sport is everybody said they want to do a show, think about doing one, but they don't understand circumstances or the consequences that are going and the sacrifice that's going to come into it. Again, a lot of times your meals are not going to be meals. Like I showed you the first meal, and like the second meal, having oats and having ground turkey. I haven't really tried mixing it, really don't want to. I like to keep it separate. Inside the oatmeal, I'll be putting coconut oil and some honey in it. 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, and then half a teaspoon of honey. About half a teaspoon is about 2.5 grams, 2 to 3 grams. So I'll just kind of weigh out with that. And I'll just use a teaspoon for the coconut oil. And then, so for this meal will come out to, let's see, like a little over 400 grams. I meant, not 400 grams, 400 calories. This would be about 30 grams of protein, 33 grams of protein, and then 52 grams of carbs right here. So this is my pre-workout meal right there. So that's all done. Also, one thing I like to do, especially inside my oats, to make it nice, a little flavorful, is I put 1 scoop of collagen powder in here, chocolate flavor. So it kind of makes like a nice little chocolate oatmeal. Kind of helps get the flavor, especially with these type of oats. There's really no flavor. So it kind of makes it easy to eat oats a little bit better. Now I put a little bit too much water in here. I don't really like it watery. So just do that. And like I said, about 2 to 3 grams of honey will just go in here. Cool, that works. Let's do this. And then get the coconut oil. I like to microwave it. Just put about 15-30 seconds in to get that. And one last thing. So we do a half tablespoon of salt. That's it. What am I doing? I don't need doing that. Last, not least, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. Just go right here on the ground turkey, just like that. And that's it. And that is the pre-workout meal right there. So, like I said, ground turkey, oats, a little bit of honey, coconut oil, that's it. So again, nothing special. Just your unusual meal, I would say, right there. But without further ado, I'm gonna eat this, get myself ready. Do got to train one client today. And then I'll work out, hit some legs, be my last leg day until after the show. And then I'll see you guys for the post-workout meal. Catch you then. All right, meal number 3. We got 4 ounces tilapia, and then we got 14 ounces of rice. Man, I've had this amount of volume of rice, probably say 3-4 weeks now. So it's been a minute, but I'm excited. Can't wait to have it. Rice is my favorite carb. If everything else goes, then rice is back on the planet. Rice is my go-to carb source right here for sure. Of course, nothing less, add a gram of salt. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, you know, these meals ain't gonna be pretty. You know, these meals are gonna be boring, but again, it's what works. And to tell you the truth, boring works. You know, you just gotta keep doing the same stuff over and over again, keep having the same foods that respond well with the body, keep having the same ratios depending on what you're trying to do, cut, bulk, how that looks like. And that's really just it, man. Just keep having the same stuff. Again, over time, it's just like, once you find it and you stick with it, then over time you're gonna start noticing that the results are going to produce more and more faster over a period of time, just because you're sticking with the boring. And how the boring looks for you is completely different, depends on the person. You know, for me, I just like having like 1, 2, maybe 3 ingredients for my meals. And maybe for some of you, maybe like a little bit more, but you might have to find what those ingredients and what those dishes look like for you to recreate that same boring, how that looks like. Maybe it might be a taco bowl, maybe it might be a burger. Again, just throwing some examples depending on how that looks like. But for this meal, let me go into the app. So with the 4 ounces of tilapia and then 14 ounces of rice for the post-workout after doing some legs, we're currently seeing this is about 1480 calories, 50 grams of protein, and 305 grams of carbs right here in this meal. And people have been asking me like, what you've been doing differently for your workouts. Right now, again, like I mentioned earlier, today was my last leg day workout. So it was good. I kind of just reduced the volume a little bit, kind of increased the intensity just a little bit. I did 2 sets of 20 for a majority part. I did 3 sets of 12 for RDLs, and that was pretty much it for my workout. Again, just being kind of this deep into it and just kind of figuring out, just change the volume a little bit, just kind of reduce the intensity just a smidge, because with the posing, being this lean, being this dry, I'm just making sure I'm just getting enough stimulant into it. Again, at this point in time, we can't really do much more. We can't really gain muscle. We can't really PR or anything like that. At this point, it's just kind of maintain muscle, maintain the pump, and just make sure the muscle is getting enough stimulant so we're utilizing the glycogen. We can refuel it with the carbs, and that's really it right there. So other than that, I'm gonna eat this meal, and I'll catch you guys for meal 4. All right, back from meal number 4. Same thing, boring. We just got 4 ounces tilapia. Now this time, only 10 ounces of rice. And so with this meal, come out to be, there's my phone. And while I'll get some salt going in. As always, another gram of salt coming in. So with this meal totals 1,091 calories, 42 grams of protein, and 218 grams of carbs. That was gonna be my last rice meal, unfortunately, but it's what it is that needs to be done. So I'm excited. At least I get like 24 ounces of rice today. Haven't had that amount, like I said, in quite some time now, so I'm excited for it. But again, like I said, it's boring, but boring is simple. I don't like to make things complicated, and I don't have to really think much more than I need to. So now you're probably also wondering too, is like, how come you have no vegetables or anything like that? And unfortunately, like, vegetables just don't really sit well with my stomach right now too, unfortunately. So, but you know, the movements, they've been good. Have no issues to go in the bathroom. And you know, my digestion has actually been pretty good. I'm just having some type of reaction when it comes to certain foods like asparagus and other things like that.
that we've been just kind of pulling away right now because again, we don't want to risk anything leading into the show. So meal number 4 right here. I think it's delicious. Obviously not. Yeah, leave it up to y'all. But other than that, I'm gonna eat this. Got back from the pool, starving. You're around at Costco, got restock on a few things, mostly just protein, like more fish, ground turkey, on that nature. And then I'll see you for meal 5. All right, meal number 5. It's time. So for this meal, we're gonna be doing, I know we got cream and rice, but I'm not too sure how much of it that we need. Here we go here. All right, cool, we need 100 grams of cream and rice. Worst part is this thing always gets blocking away for the, there we go. That's what I like to see, fast pour. Cool. Now we got 100 grams of cream and rice. And then I'm just gonna fill this up with some water. I really don't measure it, I just kind of eyeball it. And most of the time, I always say like, this is a good amount of water right here. So, do this for 2.5 minutes. And then afterwards, once that's done, I'll show you how I cook my ground turkey with it as well. All right, so once we get the cream rice to be kind of looking like fluffiness, in a way, kind of like a mashed potato style, the easy trick I do with my ground turkey so I don't have to really reheat it with water or reheat the cream and rice again to make it even more drier, is what I'll do is I'll just put the ground turkey in. We need 4 ounces, give myself way too much. Let's just try to find the ones that did not go inside the cream and rice. All right, we're good. So 4 ounces of ground turkey in there. And we'll just add just a little bit of salt. A little bit, I'm talking about half a teaspoon. Da-da-da-da. Cool. And then we got to add 5 grams of honey. Actually, 3 grams of honey. All right, good right there. I already got no spoon, huh? I'll just use a fork. Cool. Now all you do to cook the ground turkey, or to heat up the ground turkey, is you just mix it inside cream and rice, because you can see it's pretty steamy right here. And once you get the cream rice inside, or the ground turkey inside the cream rice where it's like really hot, you just kind of let that sit there in for, you know, a good minute or two. And pretty much, you got 2 ways. One, kind of cools the cream rice down because the ground turkey wasn't heated. Secondly, it warms up the ground turkey. So 2 birds with 1 stone, you know? But this is gonna be my last carb meal right here. So the carb sources I pretty much have is rice and cream rice, and you saw it with oats too. So this is my last carb meal. Again, nothing crazy. Pretty much 2 ingredients: cream rice, ground turkey, some type of protein, some type of carb, and that's really it right there. So that is it, the meal. And for the total meal consumption right here, it's gonna be 495 calories, 28 grams of protein, 78 grams of carbs right here, and 8 grams of fat. So other than that, let's see if the ground turkey is nice and warm. Yep, we're good. So I'm gonna eat this. I'm a little behind. It's 6:45 right now. Normally I have this meal at 5:30. It's all right. So Just eat this, get some walking done, and then I'll see you for meal number 6, last and final meal. All right, meal number 6. It's way past my original time. Right now it's 9:15 right now. Yeah, it's about a few hours past, but here we are, getting the last meal. So the last meal is gonna be 6 ounces of tilapia. Let's get that measured. I already have 2.5 ounces in here because I had some left over. That's 2.5. I only need like a 1.5 actually. So that's it right there. Cool. Actually, no, I need 6 ounces. So 2.5, and then we just need one more. This should be it right here. Oops. It's a little over, but not add change berry. But we got 6 ounces of tilapia, and then already made. We got 120 grams of egg whites and 2 whole eggs in here, and this is gonna be the final meal right here. You know, it's not too bad. You know, I enjoy eggs, so at least I can get some of the eggs in. You know, get some fats from the yolks. But other than that, this is gonna be the last meal right here. So, as you see through the entire day, nothing crazy, nothing complex, pretty simple, pretty boring. But again, if you are looking to do a show, or if you're trying to get yourself to something to do, that's the sacrifice you're gonna have to kind of do, and that's kind of the choices that you're gonna have to make along the way here. So, but again, it's only a short temporary. Again, you can make these meals enjoyable depending on your liking. Again, I could use sauces if I really want to, like sugar-free barbecue, but I've just been kind of just plain Jane. You know, I just use my good old friend salt here to flavor it up, and that's pretty much it right there. So, with that being said, the total macro breakdown for this meal is gonna be cool. So the total calories is gonna be 370 calories, 55 grams of protein, and 14 grams of fat. So that's all I'm gonna be eating. Again, I was down for the carbs the rest of the day, but the total breakdown for the entire day is gonna be 4,300 calories, 258 grams of protein, 653 grams of carbs, and 65 grams of fat. So that is the entire day. So we carb load out for one last time. Tomorrow I'll be doing soccer, and then he'll have me more low carbs, so probably around 300 to 400. And then pretty much leading up to the show, probably be more low carbs, less than 200. Probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll kind of go from there. And then it'll be stage time. So I'm excited for it. I cannot wait. It's been a fun journey. It's been one hell of a ride. It's been a crazy ride. Man, I'm just excited to step on. And the way the physique is looking, the way the physique is coming along, I just can't wait till that moment in time comes to be stepping on stage and showcasing all the behind the scenes and all the work I've been doing. So that's a full day of eating. Again, keep it simple, keep it clean, keep it enjoyable, and you should see in the physique. And I'm gonna eat this meal. I'll catch you next time.